Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 198?
Nah,
7.
5.
5. Well off.
Close.
Well off. Millennial Movie Talk. I'm Alex, and I know what's going on. And with me, I've got Christian
Hello.
and Braden.
Hello.
And we're here, and we're ready to begin the show. Well, most
It's been
of
a
us are.
very big week.
For content, maybe.
Content. It's been a very big week in terms of just like movie and TV stuff.
I disagree.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, let's start off with the hot topic. Braden, why do I disagree?
Because Alex hates diversity.
I hate diversity with a passion.
And we got to see some diversity.
If you're different, you better get out of here.
Yeah,
well,
the Oscars were yesterday when we were recording this.
We doing Oscars first?
I mean, we might as well.
We'll do Oscars
Yeah.
first.
Other stuff is going to get into spoiler territory, so
We're gonna get.
let's start off with
get
a thing
into
that
the
we
Oscars.
can't really spoil.
Yeah, well, the Oscars. Spoilers if you haven't watched the Oscars. It was on, and they did a pretty good job this year. They
Yep. No, it went without incident.
no slaps.
No fights.
Probably the worst thing of the night was the cocaine bear joke with what's her name?
Oh, with Malala. Oh no, that was
Malala.
terrible.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't
no.
remember this one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
they
missed
just-
this one, or I
Jimmy
blacked it
Kimmel
out.
made a really big point about Malala being there, and it was really cringe.
Well, they asked
Okay.
Malala whether she thought Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine, and she went, "I'm only about peace," and it just it was very awkward,
You could cut through the air with a knife.
Interesting.
and it was just like, okay,
Oh,
so that was a bit of fun. But yeah, the cocaine bear thing was kind of funny at
for
first,
the visual effects
Yeah.
joke.
and also
I like
Elizabeth Banks nearly eating shit on stage twice.
Yeah, that was close.
So there we go. But overall, there's only two. There's actually mainly one award that I fundamentally disagree with, like to
Yeah.
my core.
Okay.
And
This
that's
This one, when they announced it, Alex had a proper like look of like resentment. and
this one
disappointment.
hurt because this and I don't even understand it.
Oh, I'm lost.
It's best score. Look, All Quiet. It's got it. The score does its job for the film.
Dun dun dun.
It is
Got
the same
three
three
big
notes.
notes.
It is the same three notes.
Yeah,
and
it is the same three notes. Yes.
Pops his head up every 2 minutes. It wasn't better than the Babylon score though. No way,
nothing was.
Jose. I listen to
Like,
that all the time.
Babylon score is ridiculously good.
And yeah. So that made me a bit sad and a bit angry, but I guess I'll get over it eventually. Because Top Gun won an Oscar, so I'm happy we can
Top Gun
call
won
it.
an Oscar.
I'm happy
The
we can
Oscar-winning
say
Top Gun Maverick.
Academy Award winning Top Gun Maverick. Tom Cruise wasn't there, which is a bit sad.
That
Jimmy
is
Kim-
sad.
yeah, James Cameron and Tom Cruise weren't going, and Jimmy Kimmel at the beginning said the two people in the industry telling us to go back to theaters didn't come to the theater tonight.
Which
Mm,
is, I think, was
Cool.
one of the strongest jokes of the entire evening.
poor form.
One of the funniest jokes, which was in the opening monologue.
Yes.
There's a couple, and it was Jimmy Kimmel blaming all of them for not doing anything about Will Smith punching Chris Rock.
Everyone
I
just sitting there by the. just not doing
Absolutely
anything.
loved. Yeah, how they just brought that out in the open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we all did bad, guys.
It was just like, and if you physically assault someone on stage tonight, you'll be awarded Best Actor, and they would have
Yeah.
given 19
And
minute
allowed to-
speech.
90-minute speech. God
Yeah.
damn.
That was funny.
I like they just straight up said it.
And the night went off without a hitch and without hitch,
Yeah,
which was the deepest cut.
Yes.
that was good. And then the Years Without an Incident, and was one.
I really
Mm.
liked the years without an
The
incident.
years
joke.
without an
It got
incident
me.
got me. That got me as well, just right at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
And it works either way because if something had happened, they could have just walked past it, left it at 0.
Mm.
It would have
But-
been good. They set it up.
Yeah. Good fun.
So Everything Everywhere All at Once did it all, took it all.
Swoop.
It won most of the big five.
Yeah.
The only ones it didn't win were the ones it wasn't even nominated for. So it
Pity.
like in terms of the big ones. So like it
Like
didn't win
best actor.
like best actor wasn't nominated and best adapted, which it wasn't eligible for because it's not adapted. And it won best original screenplay anyway, so yeah,
Yeah.
director, screenplay, picture, actress, supporting actor, supporting actress. Oh, I also fundamentally disagree with Jamie Lee Curtis winning.
Yes, it was right movie, wrong role.
Right movie, wrong role. Or even
Yeah.
nah. Wrong movie, wrong role.
Oh, who you giving? Who you giving?
Carrie Condon, absolutely, for Banshees of Inisherin.
Right.
She was excellent in that, and it made me sad that she didn't win because
It's an interesting one because there's obviously the older generation that loves Jamie Lee Curtis. Like my mum was like, "Oh my god, Jamie Lee Curtis has won the
same,
Oscar."
my mum was
At
so
the
happy.
At the same time, my mum then said, "Oh, that movie looks stupid, though. I'm not interested in seeing it."
That's exactly what my parents did as well.
My mum was like,
So yeah, it was a weird one.
my mum said, "Oh, you know, she just deserved it because she's been around for so long." And I just went, "That's why we have the other Oscars that Michael J. Fox got, because they're the Oscars you get when you don't deserve an Oscar for acting, but you deserve one for being in the community."
Yep,
That's what those
Yep.
Oscars are for. That's what Tom Cruise will probably win one day.
100%.
Yeah.
So they're the ones you give out for that. You don't give out Oscars because they deserve it for other things. You give it to the best
Yeah.
performance.
Like career longevity. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no, that's not what this is about.
Yeah. Like, it was a career award.
Yeah.
And I think there was better roles. Look,
Career award.
I was
Yeah,
happy
that's a good
for
way to-
her. You know, she's hard not to love.
Yeah, I liked her speech as well. It was
Yeah.
very grounded.
Yeah, it was very nice.
I enjoyed the speech. Katie Kwan's speech was incredible. When he said, "Mum, I've won an Oscar."
That was the sweetest part ever.
Oh
That
yeah.
was great. Michelle Yeoh's speech was great.
Yeah.
All the speeches
Every
were
time
great.
the Daniels got up and talked.
That was funny. One of the Daniels thanking his teachers was really nice.
Yep. Shouting out that drag isn't a threat was
Yeah.
great.
Brendan
There was a
Fraser.
lot of really good stuff in there.
Brendan Fraser, great speech. I would like Butler to win, but I'm okay with Brendan Fraser winning because I haven't seen the film, so I can't really be like, you didn't deserve it. Because
Neither. It's one I'm very keen to jump on
it
now
just
though.
looks too depressing, and I just
I'm
don't want to be
actively not
sad.
watching it.
It looks like a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, it might take a lot out of you. Yeah.
yeah. You know,
The main thing I've also seen as well, which is rough because it's like Brendan Fraser then did just win the Oscar for it. But like a lot of people coming out again, like they did when the film was originally releasing, saying like, if you're gonna do a story about a like obese queer man, get like cast an obese queer man. But you know,
any of them? Can you name me one?
no, I can't, which is why it would have been a much smaller role. So yeah, it's an interesting thing, but yeah, it just looks so depressing. I'm not interested in watching it.
Does look like a bit of a sadder film, but apparently it's great. So you know,
And hey, it meant that he could do all those maritime whale like references in his speech. So
Natu Natu knocked it out of the park with
Hell yeah.
that performance. Well done. The Lady Gaga one was weird and we found out why.
yes,
Is because she only gave him 24 hours notice that she was coming.
so it's just like, yep, cool, I'm gonna be there.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, we don't have anything planned. It's like, okay, I will just be
If it-
on stage with.
I'm
the
just
band.
gonna
And
wear some jeans and a shirt, and we're gonna do this.
And the cameramen were like, we don't know what to do, so we're just gonna zoom in on her face.
The Everything Everywhere All at Once song was a bit weird. Like the song, it's not how it's meant to be sung.
No,
So that was super weird.
David, I don't know why David Byrne is still around and still a thing. I guess it's just an art community thing, and it's for a generation of people that like, I don't get it. The dude just shouldn't be attempting to sing like that anymore. But hey, you know what? People like David Byrne, so
I think All Quiet won a lot of awards there too. I think it won cinematography, production
Yep.
design,
Production
uh,
design and international.
international. There's
And
no
score.
way that wasn't winning international.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because it was the only one nominated for Best Picture as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that was winning. So that was good. I watched that the other night. I really enjoyed that one. Great score.
Those were the notes that won the score.
Those
Those
are-
are the notes.
those
Those
are
are the notes.
Don't forget those notes.
Yep.
I'm glad it didn't win visual effects because part of the tank scenes don't look very good.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think everyone was like, Avatar's winning that. No one
Yeah, there was no competition there,
no one
sadly.
Yeah,
thought for a
exactly.
second Avatar was gonna lose that. That was
I mean, Avatar's had like 10 years. It's hardly fair.
Yeah, it's a bit of a leg up on it.
Hey man, release your movie 10 years. and it'll come out and you'll do well. What else? I
An
think
Oscar.
I'm trying to think of other notable things from the
there was a
night.
few films that went home empty-handed because Everything Everywhere took everything. So Banshees of Inisherin won nothing. The Fabelmans won.
You're surprised by that?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
I thought at least would have won. I was really hoping they split screenplay or director with Banshees and Everything Everywhere, because it was the longest time where it was Banshees and Everything Everywhere that was going to be the two favorites, and they was going to go neck and neck until it suddenly turned into Everything Everywhere is just going to win everything.
Everything Everywhere on the Western Front.
So yeah. So Banshees went home empty-handed. The Fabelmans went home empty-handed. Elvis went home empty-handed, and Tar went home empty-handed.
Ooh.
So yeah, I thought Tar was gonna. I really thought Kate Blanchett was winning, Best Actress, until Everything Everywhere won everything everywhere, all
All at once.
So
On the Western Front.
Well, shout out to the cast and crew of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Good luck to the Daniels on whatever their next project
yeah,
is.
right. Rip.
God damn.
That's
Talk about pressure.
That's pressure. Hey man, they went from Daniel Radcliffe fighting as a corpse to this. So
Yep. Talk about a glow up.
you know what? That's not even that shocking. Like you would watch Everything Everyone be like, yeah, these guys probably made Swiss Army Man.
Honestly, I'm kind of shocked that there wasn't a reference in Everything Everywhere to Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, they could have
Like
been.
that, like with all the multiverse stuff, they totally could have. But I guess everyone's tired of interconnected movies like now.
Oh, and
Crossovers.
Del Toro's Pinocchio won.
Yes,
Yes.
animated.
Which people should watch. It's great.
Yeah, still didn't watch that.
Never heard of the documentary.
Nah.
Something to do with Russia.
We hadn't
Sounds juicy.
either, and as it was coming on, I was like, "Oh, I've seen the title of that one on Instagram as I was scrolling past, so that one's gonna win." And then it won.
I need to bet on the Oscars.
Oh, okay. It's about like
Yeah,
Putin's
Jesus, Alex got
political
so many
killings.
predictions right.
That's fun.
What?
The documentary is about like Putin's political violence and
Ah.
stuff in Russia.
Is that
That's-
the one where?
assassination attempt.
Is
Yeah,
that the one
about
where they
assassinations.
poisoned that man on the plane.
Yes, that's the
Okay.
one.
Very, very not fun.
Yep. Documentary blames Vladimir Putin for the poisoning. That's exciting, and everyone knew that.
Oh, and Black Panther won costumes.
Yeah, which I saw a fact that that costume designer is now the only, I think it said the only black woman to ever have 2 Oscars.
Look at that.
Not bad.
Which is
Look at that.
wild.
Well done.
And the whale did pick up 2 as well, because best makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, that's
It did.
true. It did win best.
Hey,
And
when you do
fucking
what-
Suicide Squad appeared on the
As you
screen.
point out. But Brendan did put on a lot of weight for this role, didn't he? On top of the
I think he might have. Yeah.
prosthetics. I can't speak.
This is one where I kind of don't agree with, because you look at makeup and hairstyling. That was one suit, and they did it
Yeah.
very well. It looked great. But you look at.
There's been some great fat suits done before.
Yeah, I don't want to discount their work because they did a really great job, and well done to them. Because from what the footage they showed, it looked super realistic and
Yeah.
terrifying. Elvis could have picked it up.
I wouldn't have been shocked if Elvis had taken it.
All
Makes
Quiet
sense.
could have picked it up though, from the makeup and the, war films tend
Who?
to do well with makeup. and
See, I could have
hairstyling.
seen All Quiet pick up sound as well, but then Maverick has the jets.
Yeah,
Fair.
Maverick's got them
That's the
jets.
winner.
They gotta give Top Gun 1. But I really was thinking maybe the Batman should have won it because they made Colin Farrell not look like Colin Farrell, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know how you don't give that to them. Because
Yeah,
like you
it's
That's
look
a
at the
good point.
you look at the
I
Penguin
think
in
it
that film.
legitimately comes down to at least between the Batman and the Whale.
Well, I look
Uh,
at Colin Farrell in that film, and he still has all the acting range in
Yeah.
his face with essentially it being covered.
And remembering that that's just one of the costumes alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, when
compared to
when you
the
take into
rest
account those two, the Whale, they do one big thing that is very takes up quite literally a lot of the screen, and they do that really well. Whereas the Batman does a slightly smaller thing incredibly well, but is also then doing a bunch of other things.
exactly. Like,
So it's
You
a
know what?
really tough category for him. Like you either focus on the one big thing or a bunch of really well done things. They made fucking Austin Butler pull off Elvis at the end of that movie. Like,
Scary Elvis
I'm
too.
gonna go. Yeah, there was a great fat suit in Oscar in Elvis.
Yeah,
Okay.
they made
Well-
him Scary Elvis.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna watch The Whale. All right, and then
good luck with that.
we can discuss our criticisms
Let me know how you
once
do with
one
that
of us have seen the movie.
Yeah, good call.
I'm scared to watch The Whale.
I'm scared
So
too.
that was the Oscars, and they were a bit of fun.
They were fun this year. There was no real end of the world badness to it. So.
Really sad that we didn't get to hear, and the Oscar goes to My Year of Dicks. That would have been.
Oh, that would have been fun.
That would have been fun. That would have been a nice moment.
Fun. Who was it? Who was Pedro? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Pedro did that
I think
one.
Pedro, because he was like my year of an entire year of, and he just sort of stopped. I'm pretty sure that was.
You
him.
trying to set up a segue here?
Oh, maybe. Am I?
Well,
Could be.
speaking of the Pedro,
Speaking of dicks.
speaking of dicks, that one guy in
Goddamn.
Speaking of cutaways of Pedro,
ooh,
that cutaway in the Oscars reminded me to watch The Last of Us because it came out around the time the Oscars was on.
yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you watch The Last of Us straight away, or did you continue watching the Oscars?
Well, I was watching the Oscars and I was swapping between the Oscars broadcast and the on cinema at the cinema live broadcast of the Oscars.
How was that?
anyone in the on cinema family would understand that. That was hilarious. They made no mention of the Oscars after maybe the first hour and a half, which was great. They had everything all at once videotape stacked up because it was winning, and then they
Yeah.
just never came back to it because that's what they do.
Amazing.
But so swapping between those, and then finished it off with Last of Us once they finished,
Nice.
which was a nice end to the day.
So we got the final episode, the season finale of The Last of Us season 1, and boy howdy, did they finish it?
They finished it. All
They
right.
yeah.
finished it.
They almost shot for shot finished it.
You
My
like the
God.
game? You're gonna like this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. We got giraffes first. So let's talk about giraffes.
Yeah.
Different
Gotta talk
part.
about the giraffes.
It's a different part of the game that they show up in. They show up in the university just before Joel gets impaled in the game. Obviously, in the show, he gets stabbed. But we got the giraffes nonetheless, and I think they work well in this part here.
They do. They work really well as this little moment right towards the very, very end to really just seal the deal of what Joel ends up doing.
Yeah,
Like-
it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like father takes his daughter to the zoo type. He's handing her the leaves and she's feeding them, and she's like, "Wow, it's so cool!" Like,
Very Jurassic Park.
such a moment.
And the
Just
fact
reminds me
that
of
What was that?
Jurassic Park when they're in the tree.
it is a bit like Jurassic Park. You're right.
A little bit.
The fact
They
that
do
it's
move in
a real
herds.
giraffe, like
Real giraffe.
that's wild. Like, it's like I saw a thing afterwards that Bella Ramsey was like, that was one of the most beautiful experiences of my life.
You
It's
got
like,
pat a real
"Aw,
giraffe. It would have been.
yeah, you get to hang out with a real giraffe like that. That's great.
I want to hang out with real giraffes.
Yeah.
I think you can.
You can do
I
that.
think- Yeah, it's
We have
probably not even that expensive.
we have a
Like
zoo.
everything considered.
Um,
But yeah.
but yeah, so we got it, and we started off with Ashley Johnson playing Ellie's mum
Oh, Ashley, welcome back to The Last of Us.
in the opening scene of this, where she runs away from a walker, a
It was walking.
It was.
Walking Dead culture is just too big.
Yeah.
Ran away from a Z.
From an infected.
Infected is
infected.
what they call it in Last of Us, yeah.
Should be a C, really.
Yeah, what are they called? Cordyceps.
Cordyceps.
Yeah,
Cordyceps.
The big
from-
C.
C's.
cordyceps infected person. And she gets in a fight with it and doesn't realize she has a kid.
Yeah, just in the middle of it. Just like,
Yeah.
hey, howdy. How about a kid pops out of you while you
Every-
stab this
Every doctor now is
cordyceps
going to be
infected.
like, "Would you like the Last of Us experience, where we have a man in makeup
yes.
come and attack you, and you
It
won't
has been
feel a
proven
thing.
to be the quickest way to force
It's the quickest
a
and
birth.
painless way.
Yes.
You won't even notice it's on the ground.
Yeah, and you even get a bite mark on your thigh.
You do. You got to cut the cord yourself with this razor blade.
Yeah,
with
with
this
this
switchblade.
pretty gross switchblade that just fucking killed someone.
Yes, that's what I was thinking also when she got that.
It's like, oh,
I was like, oh, it's got the zombie stuff on it.
she's already got the
Yeah.
juice in her, so.
And
that's
it was just
fine.
one chasing her, right? Just one zombie
Yeah.
chasing her. So she could not hide behind the door.
I mean,
Emotion.
I think
Yeah,
she was.
she was
at
also
odds
giving
because she was
birth.
having a baby. I think that was the issue of the situation.
No.
I think she had lots of options.
She had
if
time.
She didn't have
She had
a child
so much
coming.
time to think about that one.
She could have
Bless.
just probably got in the house and been quiet if she
Probably.
again wasn't actively having a child.
So like, do better, The Last of Us. Think these things through.
Yeah,
It did-
okay.
hey, I will say it did also then at least like with the end of that scene, it did at least like set up the sort of like brutality that we were about to see at the end of the episode.
Mm,
Because like it was pretty like, this is sad and I don't want to do this, but then she just came through and just went like pop immediately. Like
mm.
no questions asked.
So that was new. That we've never seen that before. That wasn't in the games.
No.
So we got to see basically why Ellie's immune.
Yeah.
But that actually added something as well, because Marlene has a line where she's like, I was there when she was born. You know, like
That's in the
this is it's the same for me. Like
Yeah.
you know, saying that she should be hurting more than Joel. And then, but now that we've seen that scene, and she's off, and she's saying, "Take the baby," and Marlene's like saying no and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's not the same. Like,
Like that's
Yeah.
pretty brutally fucked up.
yeah, the way she's saying it's the same. It's like Ellie's not like your child.
No.
Like she never has been. As much as you're saying that you loved her. Like
kinda
yeah,
kept her in a
You-
cage for a
you
bit
were
there.
friends with her mum, and you worked with her mum, and then you proceeded to have to kill her mum.
yeah. And her
And
initial
then
reaction.
then you took her back to Boston and just went, "Cool, join the orphanage." Basically,
Yep.
I'm
And
busy
also
with Firefly stuff.
reaction to the baby wasn't like, oh my god, it's my best friend's child. It was just like
I was
burden.
like, oh
like,
fuck, I gotta burn this baby.
I'm
And
gonna
Yeah.
it's like,
burn
no,
her.
I definitely cut the cord before I got bit.
We
So
cut
yeah,
the
I
magic
thought
cord.
that added a lot to what Marlene was saying, because it really had me going like, no, shut up. Don't you? How
Shut
dare
up,
you say
shut
that
up.
to my Joel?
Quiet time.
yeah, and it was quiet time.
But God, you really see Pedro Pascal absolutely snap as Joel.
Yeah,
Just before
far
we
out.
say that, there was one of the things I really liked that they added this episode as well, was that the story that Joel told her that he tried to kill himself, and that's why he's got the scar. That was really
was
good, and that's also
great.
not in the game.
Mhm.
That
So-
wasn't in the game.
I
wasn't
didn't
in
even
the
know
game.
that wasn't in the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to even think back.
So that was a really nice story. I don't think that was in the
Far
game.
out. I can't remember, but like that was an excellent scene.
Yeah, that was
Like,
fantastic. Man, these two
When
can
it's just like, I'm the guy who missed. Like oh, so good.
So, yeah, really like that scene. Let's talk about it. Bloody get the scene where the Fireflies capture him. They're in the hospital with Marlene, and
And
then
they reveal that
they reveal
she's not
that,
going to live through this.
which is interesting
Yep.
because I feel like in the game, Ellie kind of knew, or like
Yeah.
Ellie knew that she was gonna die if they did it. I'm trying to remember because in this show, it's just we've gassed her, we're doing it. She won't
Yes.
know.
Yeah, it
So
feels
no,
like at
in the
no real point they really talk to her at all. We don't
in the
know,
game,
we don't find out.
in the game, Ellie is never conscious with any of the Firefly people
Okay.
ever. Like
Mm.
in the game, they run in on Joel and Ellie just after Ellie's drowned,
Yeah.
Right,
and
yep.
they knock out Joel. And yeah, Ellie's seemingly never regained consciousness until she's in the car with Joel.
Yeah, which is pretty wild.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we got that scene, and then it's the conversation between Marley and Joel. It's like she's not gonna survive, and then it's just like, nope.
Here we go. And then it just becomes a very a short, sharp and shiny, very like precise John Wick sequence.
We get to watch Pedro Pascal and Joel just absolutely
You get to see
murder.
the real kind of man that Joel is.
Yes, and that's what I love about the show, is that in the game, like, I reckon it's gonna make what happens in either season 2 or 3, whenever they do it, like, not without saying it, like, what the event that happens in the second game, I think
The
it's gonna
reason for it.
yeah, I think it's gonna make it more. I think less people are gonna get mad that haven't seen.
I think people will get less mad initially, and then there'll also be the case of like, well, yeah, we watched the horror that he did, and we
in the
basically
game-
saw how it
Well,
how it affected everyone.
we were saying
Yeah.
before that in the game we're doing it, so we're
Yeah.
less like we're not witnessing it, we're doing it.
Also, let's add the fact that in the game, you kill 20, 30 goons every level.
True.
Yeah,
So
you're
it
very
doesn't-
desensitized to
It,
killing a
in the
bunch
last
of
level,
things.
yeah, in the last level of the game, when you kill 20 military dudes, it's just the fact that they're now military dudes. You're killing this. You're going on rampages every level.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more killing.
Annoying as
in the
level,
game
annoying
because
ass
of
level though,
gameplay
in the game.
mechanics.
A hard level in the
Hard
game.
level
Very
in the
hard.
game.
Yeah.
And then we get to the part, he mows down all the fireflies in the hospital.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he goes into the surgery room. He's like, you wake her up. You take that off of her.
Yeah, you
And-
unhook her and get her out.
Yeah.
And
Cover up
the doctor, the lead doctor, says you have to
Oh.
kill me, and he's like, okay.
immediately. No hesitation.
Just
Yep,
immediately.
no hesitation. He understands that where the doctor's at. So yep.
God, it's so well done.
But
Yeah.
That is just scary.
You do the same thing. Like, I reckon.
Imagine. Well, I spoke
I
because I
did
watched,
do the same thing. Like,
When you
when
were
I was Joel, I
Um,
I did do it.
I found it really interesting talking to my dad afterwards because he's never played the game, never knew anything about it, and
And he's
I
a
was watching the show
father,
with
so he
him.
gets it.
And
Yeah,
I
I
was
want to
like,
hear the
"You're a
reaction.
father. Like, how did that hit you?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was like really, really emotional, and it really like made me reflect on what I would do in that if I was him in that situation because like you have this connection with them and you can't like that's the only thing you've got now, and if you
And, like,
lose that, that's it."
Even
Especially,
from the
yeah.
opening of this episode, you can see Joel's. He's in.
Him being a father again.
Him being a father again. Him being
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna teach. Like, would you like to learn to play guitar?
Oh,
Especially
Like,
having Ellie sinking into a kind of PTSD, her
Yeah.
kind of bit of depression.
from the
Yeah.
David
He's-
incident.
Yeah, he's forced into that, really trying to father her.
Yeah, he's trying to bring her out of that, which is such a parallel from the opening of the show, where it's her
It's the
doing
other way
all the
around.
talking, and he was the quiet one.
and then we bookend it with him holding like in the fireman carry type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's so well done.
So he collects her. He clips the doctor, who maybe will be important later. We don't know.
What?
Yeah,
No.
Nah, maybe.
Nah,
I don't
No,
know.
there definitely weren't a couple of other people in the room who were still alive.
No.
Yeah.
Including Laura Bailey.
So yeah, He did. I'm glad he didn't kill the nurses.
Yeah, that would have been
That would have
Yeah.
been fucked up.
like
Because they were
really,
just like,
really
fuck,
bad.
fuck, yep, take her. They're just like,
Yeah.
we don't want no part of this.
Yep.
And then we
Live to
get
fight
down to the
another day,
basement.
hey?
We get to the
And then
car park.
lie.
I mean, nothing.
We get
lying.
to the car park where Marlene confronts him.
Oh,
And
yeah,
this,
that's
I was so happy with this because it's perfect for what the
Yeah.
game
cutting
is too.
between them in the car afterwards
When
and the
it
moment.
Yes.
when she says like we can still do this and everything will be okay, and it cuts to him driving. I'm just
Yeah.
like, they're
Yeah.
doing exactly what the game did, and the game
Yep.
did it perfectly.
Yeah.
It was that
It made you
final
think there was a
sequence was
chance.
just spot
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, the shooting of Marlene came across so much more brutal as well. Like you said, in the game we're very much desensitized.
Yeah.
The show it was
so
so
much.
much in reality.
Yep.
And he shoots Marlene. She lets out like a sound it's a bit curdling, you know.
Yeah.
And then she's begging for her life. It's
And you just come for her. Bang.
This is what the show had the power to do with a live action setting, and it did it.
It's the
Oh
best
yeah, it did it.
video game adaptation ever, right? By a country
Oh,
mile.
Yeah,
hands down,
it
it's
didn't
insane.
lose anything, other than length, if anything. Obviously,
Yeah.
the game's gonna feel very long though. But yeah,
And then
bravo.
the promise at the end, and there's so much I'm excited for in season 2 and 3 because they've announced that they're doing I think they've soft announced that they're gonna split the second game into 2 seasons.
Yes, I just saw this clip earlier today. It was from a some sort of carpet event, and they were talking to Craig, I believe, and he was just like, "Yeah, you know, we're talking it out. Him and Neil are figuring it all out now," and he was basically just like, "Yeah, it's so much that we wouldn't want to do it in one season. We would want to do it across 2."
But even if they just give us a season of in between,
Oh, that would be
one of the
I'd find that
showrunners
fascinating.
is Neil Druckmann. It would not be
Exactly.
fan fiction. It's the guy who
Yeah.
created the characters.
Yeah.
It's like
It's not like, oh, they're making this shit up just for the show.
it's
like,
not like
no,
when Game of Thrones
the
started going
creator
off
is
off key
filling
with-
in the blanks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not like the Game of Thrones situation where the last 2 seasons are kind of just like, oh well, we gotta
Yeah.
finish this now. Like you got the
And
creator of it doing it.
It would
too.
feel a little bit better as well for the new audience that they've got, rather than jumping straight to it where they're like, oh, this person who we've seen acting to be a 13-year-old girl is now just casually acting to be like 18 or 19 or whatever. Like years have passed between
yeah,
the
that's
games.
true. Yeah,
So
Can we,
if they kind of fill in the blank a bit, it'll be a bit more palatable for mainstream audiences.
Can we quickly
let's
throw
do
up
a sitcom. Joel and Ellie living in the mountain
in
settlement.
Jackson? Let's do in Jackson.
Can you imagine them back to back at the front of the house
Oh my
with their
God.
arms crossed?
I want
Yes.
like a Home Improvement, like a random
Yes,
show.
100%.
Oh,
Joel's just
okay.
going around building, helping out the town.
Yep.
Ellie's learning the fact, like really getting into the fact that, you know, she's got this crush on this girl, and like this girl's looking at her and stuff.
Can we
Oh,
throw
man.
up? Can I quickly throw out a spoiler warning for the game, the second game?
Yeah, sure. If you don't know what's going on with the second game, skip ahead like a couple minutes.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Like-
seriously, if you just want to enjoy season 2 and 3 of The Last of Us, please skip ahead for a little bit.
We'll give you a second. Okay, so
Or
Oh, boy's dead.
here's the thing with a TV show compared to a game. TV shows rely on star power.
yep,
So this is why I don't think we're gonna kill Pedro Pascal.
immediately.
Hey, we're
2
breaking up
episodes
in
in.
2 seasons. I
Yeah.
noticed. I thought, hey, 1 season with Pedro, 1
Mm.
season
Do we
without
kill
Pedro.
Pedro at the end of season? But here's the thing: the first part of you can't make the first part up until he dies of The Last of Us Part 2 1 season.
Whole season. Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's them in
That's
the,
it's such a small part.
unless they do it chronologically with all the flashbacks we see in real time with the dance, the
Yep.
the confrontation, Ellie finding out that he lied.
Yep.
You know,
Mm.
unless we find all of that out. And
You also
do it
get
that
like
way.
all the like the museum and stuff in
We
there as
do
well.
when she's in the spaceship
Yeah,
museum.
like you get all that stuff in there.
Um,
It would obviously be like TV wise, it would make sense to end the season with
with his death, it would.
knocking it off.
Doing it in
And
the
then
first 2-3 episodes, you
ooh.
can't
If you
because
if you do it at
No,
the
end
end,
it.
season 3 you start and you cold open with is it Allie? I'm trying to remember.
Abby.
Abby, that was it. I was mixing Ellie and Abby together. If you cold open with Abby and you're like, whoa, what? We're seeing her? And people would be like mainstream audiences would be like, what the fuck? Where's Ellie?
Well,
But
yeah,
that's
with
kind of
that,
also what people reacted to
the
the game.
thing I want with the show, which I think they have to do it like this, which I'm happy they probably will, is that I only have one issue with The Last of Us Part 2. It's not what they did with Joel. It's not them making me play as Abby. That was all made sense, and I really enjoyed that. It's the fact that we played so much as Ellie, and then we had to do the next 3 days, the whole 3 days again as Abby. I think
Yeah.
if we cut back and forth between that a bit more, it would have been the pacing at least would have been better.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you're continuing to build tension as the two of them basically go towards each other.
Yeah, which would have been good.
Which would work
Which
well.
I think is what the show is gonna do, and because I don't think with the show you could do like 2 episodes with Ellie and then bang, she's gone. 3 episodes.
No,
with Abby.
people would be furious. Like
Yeah.
in an even worse than the game. Like they'd be
People
like,
aren't going to cope.
this
with
isn't the
just...
show that I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. But then again, they did give us an entire episode that basically barely had Joel and Ellie in it. Which is
Hey,
great.
that was beautiful, and people need to get over. The Last of Us has always been gay, and if you don't like the fact that The Last of Us is gay, you wait till next season when The Last of Us gets even more gay.
Oh my god, it's gonna get so gay. You're
All
not
right?
gonna
yeah.
be scared.
If you
The
thought
Last
this
of
was
Us
gay,
is so
you
gay.
wait until next season. All right?
Oh man, it's so good.
We're bringing
I
out
love
all the gay. Gay. All right? It's going to get gay, guys, and it's okay. It's okay to get gay.
Can I segue with the gay?
A little bit gay. Yeah, you can segue with some gay.
Yeah. Scream 6
Scream 6 is a bit gay.
has got some great gay moments in it.
It's got some gay in it.
And is also just a wonderful time.
We're not going to spoil it. Don't worry, Chris.
No spoilers because this is one that has only just come out and
These
it's been a
whodunit
crazy
films.
Time. So you don't want to know who's done it or who's doing it. And we won't spoil that.
So
I will
obviously
just
we
say,
can't go too depth into this.
Yes. So very on the surface. The opening is fantastic. Really pushes your expectations of what you expect from a Scream opening. In a really wonderful way. This film is brutal. You get some great kills, and it is very, very violent. The core 4, excellent. They're
So
great.
I've been diehard Scream person since
OG.
not OG. I wasn't alive.
Yeah, but you were a baby.
When it came
Probably
out,
3 or 4.
996. I wasn't alive.
No.
I was alive when Scream 2 came out, probably though, because they 1 and 2 were also a year apart.
I guess just age-wise, I'm assuming that you probably jumped onto the franchise at 4.
A little bit before 4. I remember being excited for 4. I have them all on DVD.
Okay.
I have
Nice.
1 to 3 on DVD. And I watched them a lot. Scream 1 was very important because it's the first movie that made me go, movies. Like the rest of them.
What are these things?
The rest of them were like, I enjoyed movies. I watched them, but like Scream was like, that's what I wanted to make. I wanted to make Scream. I wanted to make things like Scream. And I'm sure from what we can see me make in film school, it's very apparent that Scream has been the catalyst for me liking films. And so I love them all. I don't care. Don't care about 3. 3's great. Fuck you all.
I saw on Letterboxd your little ranking of them.
Well, Scream,
which I thought was good.
they've all got love hearts. Because I love them all.
not?
I rate them properly though. You know, Scream 3 is a 3 out of 5, probably less. Each of them gets get a little bit of boost because it's me and I love it. The voice changer in 3 is absolutely ridiculous, and I love it.
Oh boy,
It's a voice changer that can emulate real people's real voices.
Anytime.
So that's so funny.
It's Hollywood shenanigans and it's great.
Number 4, I don't know what they were doing with the contrast in number 4, but it's so over contrast. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I love it.
All shadows, all highlights.
All highlights. You look, there's a window in that thing, and it takes up half the screen. I love it though. Still love it. 5 was great when it came out.
Yeah.
5 Cream we liked 5 Cream.
5 Cream, bringing in the new blood.
5 Cream was a little safe, a little back to formula, as Norman Osborn would say. So
back to formula.
Back to formula. And then we got Scream 6. We're shaking things up. We're going to New York, and
New York.
Yep, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. And in this film, we're following the core 4 as they leave Woodsboro, and they go to New York, of course.
They're off to college.
And the MVP of this film is Chad. Chad deserves
so
everything. Good. Mason Gooding, I think it's Mason Gooding Jr. His name is. He's great in it. Yeah, we love him.
Yeah, he's enjoyable in every single shot.
Yeah. I thought that the main actress Melissa Barrera really stepped up in this film, because in the last, I like Scream 5 a lot. I think her acting might have been one of the weaker parts of Scream 5, and she was
tough when you're given the challenge of having to pretend to be someone who like has hallucinations.
Yeah,
like that's a tough role for anyone.
In this one, I think she was one of the best parts of the film.
Yeah, I thought she sells everything to do with her character.
I thought she knocked it out of the park. I liked the callbacks to the original films.
There's a lot of franchise.
We've got the nostalgia room, but the nostalgia room works in context of the film, and it's not stupid.
Which is hilarious that they make that work.
Yeah. Bringing back Kirby was great.
Yes.
Because that's just been the biggest fan theory since Scream 4 came out, was that Kirby did not die, because we did not see Kirby, because she was still kind of crawling a bit when they cut away from her death. And then there was
like, hey,
pushing that onto the fact that if you listen to Scream 4 in a moment, you hear a roller door open in the background, which is like, that's Kirby escaping probably. And then they say that in this film that she almost died for 4 minutes, which is a bit of fun, because Scream 4. And yeah,
there's a lot of cheeky like hints and winks and nods to this so much.
So my favorite moment in any Scream film, and I think it's the best moment in any Scream film, is actually in Scream 2, and it's when Ghostface crashes the car and Sydney and her roommate have to crawl over him while he's unconscious in the car.
Yes,
that is the best moment in any of the Scream films.
So tense. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Is he actually unconscious?
Is he gonna grab him at any point? Is he freaking out, or is he like faking it?
Such a great point of tension.
I reckon this one gives us some moments that almost rival that. I think the across the ladder window escape scene is excellent.
That's pretty tense.
I think the subway scene is incredible.
Oh, the subway scene goes for... If you've seen the trailer, you've seen that they've teased this sequence in the subway trains. That sequence is so long, and not in a bad way. In like a, I am terrified, I never want to go on a train again.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it's like for New Yorkers seeing this movie and being like, now I just have to live with this in my brain.
And the bodega scene's incredible.
Oh, excellent.
Like Braden said in the beginning, Ghostface he racks up the kill count in this one. Motherfucker murks just people.
He's pretty stone cold about like.
We thought that when he stabs someone, he don't stab someone once. It's
times. A lot.
It's like people thought he was pretty brutal in Scream 5. This is taking it up a notch.
It's bringing it up.
Courtney Cox comes back and it's great. We didn't need Sydney. Thank you for proving that we don't need Sydney in a Scream film. Neve Campbell, I wish you didn't return on better reasonings. It sucks that they're not willing to pay you what you're worth, but
also I feel like the film is better for it.
I almost feel like I don't need to see Sydney get attacked for the 6th time by Ghostface. I feel like
I really
we can
don't.
move on.
Yeah.
I
It
feel like
reaches
they
the
did a
point of
really
okay,
good.
this is just silly.
I think they did a really good job of kind of mentioning where she's at, but not having her in the film, and so that
Yep.
was really good. And I thought Gail was great. I thought Gail might have a bit more of a bigger role in the film, but very much happy with what she did do. She finally got a call, as we saw in the
Yep.
trailer. She's never had a call before, and she finally got her call.
Which I mean, like, not really much of a spoiler because it's Scream
It's in
and
the
it's the type
trailer.
of meta shit that you can expect. Like they reference the fact that she's never got a call before, which is
Yeah.
great.
And yeah, we got to see Ghostface fly all around. It's my favorite thing about him is that he's the only real horror icon you can hit with a frying pan.
Yeah, which was excellent.
Which happens in too many movies.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing
Ghostface
about him
gets fucking thrown around in this
because
movie. It's
it
so
just
fun.
it's that part that reminds you that he's just a guy in a suit.
Yeah, there's nothing. I think it was I went into work the next day, and the one question I got was, "Did they do any supernatural shit?" And it was just like, "No,
they
they
need
did
to.
not." Why? Because they
Um,
respect our time.
So yeah, and I thought the newcomers were really good in the film.
Yeah.
Jack Champion, who is Spider in Avatar: The Way of Water, that nobody is
Insanity.
recognizing because
Because he was a
Avatar,
child.
because Avatar 2 was filmed like 3-4 years ago. So the fact that he's now in a Scream film that was filmed 8 months ago.
Yeah. As a
and
college
What does he
student.
look like?
You want to see Spider?
What did Michaela describe him as? As like a budget, was it Evan Peters?
He kind of looks like no one's going to understand this reference, but he looks like if Evan Peters and the guy that they got, Evan Peters from Scream, Evan Peters from Kick-Ass, and
Yep.
then the guy that they got to replace Evan Peters from Kick-Ass 2, if you merge them together, that's what he looks like.
Yes. So if they're ever going to reboot Kick-Ass, they should use this guy.
So this is him, Chris. This is no spoilers.
Less.
I'm having a look.
This is him,
So weird.
right? We all froze there for a second, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So yeah, he doesn't look like Spider.
No, it looks so different. No,
Yeah.
no one would
So
know. Like,
So strange. And now,
Also, like,
and I guess
Spider
he's
is-
gonna be in Avatar 3.
They've already filmed.
yeah.
They've already filmed it. He'll still look the same as he did in Avatar
Like
2.
he'll still be a child. Oh,
Yep.
it's gonna be so weird.
He'll still be hissing and
They're
growling.
gonna be doing the press circuit, and it's gonna be like, oh, this young man can legally drink now.
Yeah.
Weird.
Good for him.
But yeah, look, it's my second favorite Scream film. I thought it was fantastic. I like the reveal. People don't like the reveal. The thing I like about the reveal is that I was really worried that with the nostalgia room and everything, that it was going to be someone who's related to one of the killers from 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And
Which
it's not that. It's very much
they've done
to
before.
do with the characters of this film and not the characters of other film, which was
This
what
is
I was
a-
happy about.
This is a film that manages to have its cake and eat it too, whereas it's giving you just enough of the overall. They reference it a bunch as saying the word franchise is thrown around a lot, and the fact
new
that
rules.
they're paying respect to the franchise while also accepting the fact that, hey, no, we're not locking ourselves into being stuck in the past. Like, this is the new blood through and through, which is great.
So yeah, overall, I adored this as a Scream fan, and yeah, Scream, live on. We love Scream.
Yeah.
We're never gonna get to the high. Look, it's impossible. Nothing's ever beating Scream 1. It's just you could have
don't know
the
how.
best. The new Scream could come out, Scream 7, whatever we're calling it, and it could be like the best film ever.
Yeah.
It's not beating Scream 1.
No.
I
I had a thought when we were driving home after the film. I was like, you know what I would have liked? I would have liked a cheeky little reference to like when franchises get so big that like they get like a TV spin-off which pays no like actual like connection to
We've had
the
that.
movie franchise. Like the Scream TV show that
Yeah.
was completely its own thing. I would have liked if there was a funny reference to that, but
They kind of
you
want
know.
to keep that extremely separate. So
they don't want to reference it at all.
no, they don't.
Bless.
So yeah,
Wasn't that bad.
No, Scream. The first few seasons are pretty good.
But yeah, I Scream 6 4.5 out of 5. It was great.
We like Scream 6. We love it. The Demi Lovato song was kind of good.
Which part was that? That was
The final song.
Yes.
The credit song.
Yes. That was
That was good. It had a good soundtrack too.
did have a good soundtrack.
So Scream 6, go see it wherever they're playing it.
Yeah.
And South Park's back. South
Oh,
Park's still
God.
going on. I'll just quickly say that South Park.
What's going on with the most recent South
The
Park?
last 2 episodes I watched, because I watched them the other day, was one where it involves the Japanese toilet episode, where the Marshes, Randy essentially becomes the Kennedys, and they're trying to bring about people to buy Japanese toilets because they have bidets and you don't need toilet paper, so you're saving the environment. And then the toilet papers companies start trying to assassinate Randy, and they just turn into the Kennedys.
God damn it!
It's really funny.
Oh, how do you come up with that as a plot?
I don't know. And then the latest episode was all the boys in South Park are using Chat GPT, whatever it's called, to respond to their girlfriends because they can't be bothered.
I was expecting write their essays.
No, they do that too. So Cartman, there's like a
but
group
that
of
is
them.
genius. Yeah.
So there's a group of them where it's like Cartman uses it to write his essay, so does Butters, but Clyde and Stan use it to respond to their girlfriends, and they get this guy to come in who's got an eagle that senses when stuff's written by ChatGPT. It's really funny.
Oh my god.
It's really
how
funny,
they keep doing it.
And Mr. Garrison gets sucked into it because he starts using ChatGPT to grade all the students' papers. And in turn, he realizes that his partner's using it to respond to him. So it's really funny.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, South Park, they still know how to do it.
Yeah. Which is a shock every single time. Because you just feel like any point in time they could lose the magic, but they haven't.
I'm waiting for it.
They got it.
They got that magic.
Got the sauce.
Chris,
is there anything else we've all been watching?
Chris, you've been watching anything?
Not really. Not really.
No.
Same old.
WWE 2K23 came out today, so.
Have you played it?
Yeah, it came out at midnight.
Oh, how is it?
It's a lot of fun. They finally put War Games in it. I'm not sure if you guys know what War Games is.
War Games?
War Games was a WWE pay-per-view. I can't show you. Well, I can show you. I can show you a screenshot. It's fine.
Yeah, we can see a photo.
I'll show you what the ring looks like.
War Games.
War Game. It's sick. And they finally brought it to the main kind of WWE branding this year with a pay-per-view. And it was probably the best pay-per-view that they had this year. And I'm just trying to find the ring. If I can get a wide shot of the ring, because it is essentially 2 rings next to each other and they're in cages.
Oh.
War Games ring.
That sounds cool.
Let's have a look. Sorry.
For the podcast listeners,
they're
jump over
thrilled
to see this screenshot that we're about to look at.
War Games. It's really fun. All right.
The game itself.
Should I use the? It kind of looks like this here. Kind of. I hate. Why doesn't it just make it big?
Oh my god! Look at it.
So it's two.
Okay.
Right-click on it and open the photo in a new tab.
Yes. No, that's searching with Google. Oh, what do you mean? It didn't give me that.
There should be open.
No, you could. Yeah.
Open photo in a new tab. There should be. Yeah, there you go.
So, it's.
Oh my god! Look at it.
It's 2 rings.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Wait, is it 2 rings, but there's not a cage between the rings?
You can go in between the ring, and you can go. They do a lot.
But there's ropes there.
Yep.
Okay, that's fun.
They do a lot of fun stuff.
That is fun because I imagine the shenanigans between the 2 rings just get ridiculous.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay,
There we go.
Okay, and in the game as well, that would be great.
Oh, it's the first thing I did. As soon as they announced that War Games was gonna be in it, it's the first thing I did. So,
Oh my god,
and
that's
you're in
great.
cages and you get let out so what happens is it's a like 4v4. This is the last thing I'll say about it before we go on. It's a 4v4. Everyone starts from the cage, and then two people start in the ring, and then every minute someone new comes in. Well, in
Okay,
the
that's fine.
actual thing, every 5 minutes someone new comes in. So
Yep.
the actual match doesn't start until everyone's in. So
Yep.
you get 25 minutes into it when it's on the pay-per-view, and
Jesus.
it hasn't even started yet. But when the last person gets in, the announcer goes, "Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh my god.
War Games," and it's the best.
Okay, very fun.
It's the best.
Absolutely insane.
It's insanity.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you quickly changed that because I was pulling a meme face and that was not pleasant.
So look at Chris. He's constantly pulling the little cheeky face there.
Chris is always pulling.
Of course.
cheeky
He's
little
always looking
the
good.
little sunnies.
Have you been watching anything, Braden? Quickly.
I have I? I feel like I have. I feel like there was something that I watched and
The Mario Brothers movie. I got you.
oh yeah, I watched the Mario movie from
Oh.
the 90s.
Oh.
Oh my god. It is a solid 1.5 out of 5.
Ah.
But I will give it this. And I learned a lot about it because I only watched it because a podcast that I listen to weekly, they did an episode on it and I wanted to understand what they were talking about. This thing was a production nightmare. The production designer on it ended up being the same production designer behind Blade Runner, which explains the set design and what's going on with the whole mess. It was originally a different script, and everyone got on board with it. And then the producers backed out at the last second. Like, sets were already being built, like props were already being made, like costumes, everything was already happening. And they were like, "No, it's too adult. We can't." So then they got a different writer to come in and try and adjust it at the last minute, and it's this hodgepodge of this film that is way too adult and then all of a sudden family friendly. And
Hodgepodge.
look, I'll give it this. It's teaching kids to fight up against fascist governments. So that's great.
Check. One box checked.
Yeah, we're here for that. Bob Hoskins and fucking who's the guy? The guy who plays Luigi in Super Mario. He was in The Menu.
Oh, John Leguizamo.
Leguizamo, that's it. I was trying to think of the last name. Him as Luigi is just wild. And there's so many just ridiculous sequences in this film. I recommend it for a funny watch. No. Also, interestingly enough, if you try to find the Super Mario Bros. Movie from the 90s now, it's almost like by doing the new Super Mario Bros. Movie, Nintendo are trying to erase that last movie. Like, search engine optimization for that last movie has disappeared. Like, if you try to find it, it is difficult to find now.
They do.
I had to watch it on SBS On Demand.
Look at that. Look at you.
That's the only place in the world that it's on. So there are people in America who have to VPN to Australia to watch on SBS On Demand.
Hey,
if they
it's a
want to
nice
watch
change. Nice
the
change
old
of pace,
movie.
isn't it?
It is. It's a nice change of pace. But man, I both recommend it and do not recommend it. It is, if you want a wild time, like before the new one, which actually looks like a Mario movie, yeah, go for it. It's crazy.
Hell yeah.
And Bob Hoskins is great.
We like Bob Hoskins.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, that's sort of it. I'm watching old Doctor Who. I'm up to modern Doctor Who again now. I'm up to Tennant now. It's still great. It's still fantastic. Fantastic.
We love Tennant.
I think with that, unless you've got anything else to add, Alex,
I'm good.
That's an episode of
We did it.
Millennial Movie Talk.
We did it.
MMT. Episode 195. A big Oscars recap, a big end of Last of Us, a Scream review, We've got
South Park War Games.
another review that we'll be getting out in the next week because we are seeing the new DC film, Shazam. Gonna see that one.
Shazam!
We're being sent to,
Shazam!
if that explains that a bit
Shazam
more.
2. This time we're Shazam.
We also we did just get confirmation that we have free passes to see the new John Wick.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's exciting.
Yes. So you can expect a review of that when that comes out. Otherwise, I feel like there was a TV show that was starting up soon that will be big for next week's episode. Oh, a Mandalorian's still going. I watched episode 2. Yeah. It's fine.
That's all right.
It's fine.
Ted Lasso starts again tomorrow.
That was it.
Yeah. Other than that, it's
I think it was Ted
65
Lasso was the
apparently is
one that
bad.
I'm very excited for. Which one?
65 apparently is real bad.
Yeah, bless. We even have free tickets and we haven't gone yet. So
Shrinking is still great. Watch Shrinking. People
I
watch
saw that
Shrinking.
Zach Braff directed a episode of that.
Of Shrinking?
Yeah.
Did the Braff man do some? I don't look at the directors.
Zach
Yeah, yeah.
Braff again.
Is that
The
what's
Braff
is that what's going to make you to watch it, Chris? If Zach Braff
Yep.
had a part in it?
Pretty
That's
much.
all you needed. Not just Alex saying, "Hey, this is an excellent show that you should be watching."
Chris is like, yeah, Zach Braff did direct the episode.
The Braffman?
The Brat Pack.
The Braff Pack?
That's it. We did it. We did the show.
Follow us on your podcast service of choice. Subscribe on YouTube. Like the video. Leave a comment. Review it. Tell your friends.
Tell 'em.
We're saying that.
I'm Alex,
I'm Braden.
I'm Christian.
and we're out of here. Bye bye.
Bye.